Hello Glee fans, this is Shamus Kelley, video editor of the Towerlight, here with your Opinionated Glee review of Season 2, Episode 20, Prom Queen. This episode was finally a good, solid, better than expected episode of Glee. Finally, after last week's kind of meh, and last week's and the one before that's just sort of not so good, this one finally just got it back on track. This is solid Glee. They were definitely building to this one. And you know, unlike say the first review I did, Original Songs, where that one had so much going on, you couldn't feel you could breathe. This episode had a lot going on, but it was able to give enough time to everything so you didn't feel like it was rushed. The episode was not rushed at all. You know, you got to see a lot of stuff from, okay, showing my bias here, the Kurt and Blaine stuff was fantastic. I think singled out my favorite scene from this episode is when Kurt and Blaine are in the breadsticks, and Blaine is telling Kurt about how he got gay bashed at his old school, and just the way Darren Criss, who plays Blaine, was acting the scene was just phenomenal. He really felt like, someone who had this, weight in his heart from something that had happened before, and he didn't really want to talk about it, but he also had to mention it. And you could just see it on his face. He didn't even have to say it all. You could just see it. And Chris Colfer, as always, was excellent as Kurt. And, a lot of people were like, the other part that people were all up about was, oh man, Jesse St. James is back. Why did Rachel get back with him? Oh, he's such a douche. To be fair, Rachel is not in the best emotional state at the moment, so her actually going back to him is actually quite in character. She's like, I just want someone to be there. I want to make Finn jealous, and he did, considering he punched him in the face. That was awesome, by the way. I also liked Rachel getting slapped. I don't really like Rachel, so that was really awesome for me. Although the thing is, I felt like there must have been like a deleted scene or two, because Finn and Jesse just sort of go off, like they leave prom, and that's pretty much it for them. We don't really see that much of them anyway. And then also, the other thing about this episode, Sue Sylvester. Okay, Sue is hilarious. Hilarious. But when it gets to the point where she's threatening to, take teeth out of a kid, that's where it gets, once again, I know Glee is not realistic. I understand Glee is not realistic. But when a teacher is talking about pulling teeth out of a kid, regardless of what is going on, that's starting to cross the line of believability. You can only ask for so much believability in a show, and this show is starting to cross it a little more often than it should, especially with that character. And the songs for this episode, I could talk about any of the songs, and there were some short ones, and they were great, but the one everyone was all up in arms about was, oh, they did Friday by Rebecca Black. They're so terrible. Why would they do that? For one, it's a popular song. So, of course they're going to do it. If it's popular, Glee is more than likely going to do it if they can. Two, they actually sang it. I mean, obviously Glee uses auto-tune as much as most artists do today, but they did it good. The song was enjoyable. I don't know what you're all looking for. People like, oh, screw Glee, doing Friday. Like, what? It was short. If you didn't like it, just don't pay attention to that part. It's fine, I personally liked it. I mean, this is my opinion, the Opinionated Glee review. So, what are you going to do? And, just this episode. I liked it. I liked it a lot. There is a lot to say about it. Like the scene with Kurt, who they announced was prom queen. Oh my gosh, I think my jaw hit the floor. Not literally, mind you, but still. And it was just, I have such a bias to the Kurt and Blaine stuff. I really do, but the other characters are just not as interesting. I maybe should just call this the Kurt and Blaine Opinionated Glee review, where I just talk about them. But what else was there to talk about? Rachel, as much as I don't like Rachel, I liked that she acted this way because it was within character. Oh, and they actually remembered Sam is poor and not at home anymore. Yay! Glee remembered something. That's unusual. Let's see how many more episodes they can remember for. If they keep remembering it to the end of the season, I will be surprised. So yeah, grades for this episode. I will give this episode a pretty solid. Oh, it gets an A. I don't know what I'm talking about. It gets an A. It gets a very, very solid A. Not an A+. A+, it'd have to be pretty extraordinary. But A, very solid A going on there. So, that's all for this week, Glee fans. Only 2 more episodes left, so that means 2 more episodes of this show, web series, whatever, until we're done for this season. Although, maybe during the summer I'll post some more thoughts about Glee, or thoughts about, the rumors about what's going on with Glee. So, until then, thanks for watching, and see you later.